So I've gotten weaker. Being sick, going out of town, and being pretty dang busy at work for the last 2 weeks are the reasons for that. So we're moving back. We're going back a couple workouts to rebuild the strength, to be able to actually hit a new PR, because it's been probably 2 months since I've hit a new chest PR. So just gotta be patient. Just gotta keep going. It can be super frustrating to have setbacks, but who cares in the long run? You forget about it, you'll move on, you'll get stronger, I'll get stronger. If you want to get stronger, then do what I'm about to do. It's bench day for you bros, for this bro. Our favorite day. It's where we get to work on the pretty muscles, we get to work on the triceps, we get to work on the pecs. We get to do no lower body stuff. Well, I'm lying, I'm going to do some lower body stuff today too, but mostly chest stuff. So let's knock it out. This is 3 sets of 3 with 85% of your 1 rep max. I would consider myself an intermediate lifter. I've only been lifting weights heavily or trying to progress in strength for a year and a half or something like that now, so not too long. But even then, it still feels like it's enough time to where I should not kind of forget my form after I go a long period of time without working out. But I don't know if you experience that or not, but sometimes it takes a few reps to get back into it to where you actually feel like you're doing things right. I did this workout, or a shorter version of this, a couple days ago, just trying to, again, get the strength back. And man, I felt weak, form felt off. And this was only going about a week and a half without doing any bench work. So it's good to feel like I'm doing it the right way and be back in here and feeling a little stronger. I'm also feeling a little bit rusty with doing videos. I've only done, I think, 2 videos in the last 2 or 3 weeks or something, just again because of the stuff that I've been doing. So I'm feeling a little rusty on that. This is probably just going to be more of a workout and chill type video. So maybe you'll like that. I will still find something to share my thoughts on because that's what I do. I'm sharing my opinions to hopefully find people that agree with me. Because that's all I want is an echo chamber of people telling me, hey, you're so smart, you're so beautiful, you're so wise and all-knowing. Because I know those things about me, so I just need to convince other people. Part of the reason why I'm having a hard time coming up with stuff to talk about is because normally before I come do these videos and these workouts, I like to feel energetic, feel like, pumped up. Who doesn't want to feel that way before they go do a workout? But I was listening to music with my wife and kid, and we are huge Starset fans. If you're not familiar with them, you should definitely go check them out. They're kind of like a melodic, cinematic, metalcore rock band, I guess is kind of the way that I would put it. Their recent album has a lot of 80s influence as well, a couple covers from the 80s. But they recently released their new album, and there's a song on there called Ad Astra, and we were watching the music video for that, and it got us both pretty emotional, if I'm being honest with you. It's a really good song. I recommend checking it out, but it is very sad and hopeful, and I don't know, there's a lot to describe about the video. The song and the video is essentially about a person who's dying, and they are leaving the world behind, and it's kind of like a love letter to his wife or whatever he's leaving behind. And I'm not a religious person. I haven't been religious since I was about 18, and a lot of that time I've spent since then has been thinking about what happens after life, what's the meaning of life, all those sorts of things. So that video and that message was really touching to me because one of the lyrics in it is ad astra infinitum, and that translates to the stars, to the infinite. So it's a really cool take that's not necessarily a religious take, but more so of, once we die, we just return to the stars and return to the universe. Being a husband, where it's a man that looks like he's leaving his wife and he's dying and going back to wherever we came from, was just touching. And it helps that it's my favorite band and they make incredible music on top of it. But it's funny because sometimes if you're like me, you kind of fall for the trap that you have a little bit of a handle on death. Obviously, I don't know if you can have a complete handle on it. I think I've done a good job at not being as afraid of it as I have been for most of my life, but man, watching that made me feel a little afraid again. But it's nice to have the hopeful touch on it. It's like we leave and go back to, wherever it is that we came from, if we came from anywhere. At the very end of the video, it actually is, it's like he's getting reborn. It's like, it shows like a little baby in a universal womb, essentially. So it's just really cool how many different emotional waves that song and that video takes you through. So I would definitely recommend checking it out. Okay, moving on to 1 rep, 3 sets of 90% of 1 rep max here. So as much as that song is supposed to be an uplifting message, I think it obviously touches on dark things as well. Oh, that's another song on the album that you should go listen to. Dark Things, very good song. But it definitely did scare me in a sense. I don't want to leave my family behind. And obviously that's inevitable so far. Maybe science will catch up and, we'll never have to die. Wouldn't that be great? Maybe, who knows. But it's also nice how feeling that fear and knowing that inevitably it will happen to you can wake you up or make you feel alive in a sense. It can just make you feel more appreciative to what you have and the good things in life. As long as you take it the right way, it's very easy obviously to go the other direction with it and get super depressed and get fixated on death. And I have had those moments in my life where I've gone the other way and I just think of how fucked up it is that it seems like we just come live here for a few decades, suffer a lot along the way, and then we just go somewhere or nowhere to non-existence, who knows. But if you can manage to turn it around and let it make you feel more appreciative to what you have and the good things in life, then that's a good feeling. There's almost always, I think, a way to flip things to be positive. I haven't experienced all the negative things out there, fortunately. So I don't know if I were captured and tortured for 2 weeks straight, if I would be able to find a way to make that positive. But who knows? Who knows? Not me. Maybe someday I'll talk to somebody that has unfortunately gone through that and they will let me know. Okay, moving on to tricep extensions of your choice. I like these tricep extensions, so that's what I'm doing. This is probably a little bit too much weight for me, but that's what I used last time, and that's just what I'm going for. 6 reps here. Shit. So I guess what I'm going to be talking about throughout this video is just the Starset album, and not because of the music itself, but more so the message of it. I think it's really, really good, and it's good for these times, and that's why they wrote it. Who would have thought? But it is also now my new favorite album of all time. So please, again, go listen to it. There's a number of songs on there that talk about the bad things in modern society and how inwardly focused we have a tendency to be and how sucked into technology we get. There's a song on there called Toxic, and it's spelled T-O-K. S-I-K, I think is how they spell it on there, but you know, referring to TikTok and you know the videos about getting infected essentially. So it's really clever. I like it a lot. But the last song on that album is the one I was talking about earlier, Ad Astra. And so I really like how they progress the album. The end of the song, or the end of the album, again, isn't necessarily a happy one, but it does a good job of making you feel. And a lot of the things in modern society do a good job at making you not feel, whether you're scrolling through something or entertaining yourself through sports or TV. And don't get me wrong, you can feel things in those. You know, if you find a good movie out there, a good drama with a good message behind it, then that can make you feel things. But a lot of the entertainment that we do in today's age is just to pass the time. It's not really meaningful. So they do a really good job with the message throughout that. Three. I have a ton of respect for so many content creators out there because it is not easy to create things that people will actually watch. I've been making videos for about 4 months now, and my whole thought behind getting started with this was that it's going to take me a couple years to figure out what I'm doing anyway. So I try not to worry too much about the fact that I haven't figured out how to get people to watch my videos yet. But I'm kind of in like this dipping point right now where I don't really know which direction I should go with these videos. I like to talk about mindset stuff, but it's a little bit tricky to do as frequently as I want to make videos. I think it's good to do the mindset stuff if you're making, you know, 1 or 2 videos a month, just because it's easier to keep content fresh, I think. I already feel like I'm running into a little bit of problem of repeating myself, which is okay because nobody's really watching these videos anyway. If you're watching this now, thank you very much. I appreciate that. But it really is amazing how good some people are about putting out a lot of content consistently, and that's either entertaining or educational, which is kind of the same thing. You know, if you're educational, then you find the right audience, then you're entertaining to them. So we'll see, just trying to figure it out. You know, if you're watching, let me know if there's anything that I've said so far that's something that you would like to watch a little bit more of. I would appreciate that. One reason I really like that tricep extension is because you can bring those elbows way back and get a lot of tension on the tricep, but you can also cheat quite a bit and still feel it a lot in the tricep, because ideally you want to keep that elbow as far back as you can the whole time. But when those weights are starting to get real heavy, you can really bring those elbows forward when you're in that inclined position, and you can still feel it almost exclusively in the triceps. So I like that one. Moving on to dumbbell presses here. I do not have enough weight to do the 6 rep max that you're supposed to, so I'm just going to do 3 sets of failure, essentially. 1. Okay, going back to feeling rusty after not having done some of these lifts in a while. Man, I felt wobbly on those. It took me a second to figure out how to do those right. The human body's so weird. I don't know why, but my chest feels weaker after being sick and not having worked out, but my triceps don't. I did more reps with the same amount of weight than I did last time. I don't know why. I wish I did. It's my body. I spend all day in it. You'd think I'd be able to understand why one part feels weaker and another part feels stronger, despite taking the same amount of time off and going through the same thing. It's pretty weird. Science, you need to like get on that. And I don't mean me, obviously. Somebody else can do it. I'm not smart enough to figure it out. Is anybody? Nobody has yet. Okay, so it's supposed to be 3 sets of the dumbbell press, but I'm feeling it a little bit in my shoulder right now. And it's about making progress, not about getting hurt. So we'll just call it for that and move on to the next thing. Curls of your choice, pull downs of your choice. I will be doing chin-ups, 3 sets of 8-ish. Got 30 pounds on the weight vest here. I did 8 reps last time, so I'm gonna try and do 9. Seven, 8. I've heard well-established content creators say that they would rather not put out a video if they think it's a bad one and just make another one. But it's funny how much experience you need or how subjective good can be, because I personally don't feel like this is a very good video, or it won't turn out to be a very good video. And maybe I shouldn't say that, but whatever, I'm just being open here. But I'm saying that thinking that I have made a good video, and I don't have any evidence of that. It's just a feeling. It's just like, oh yeah, that was a pretty decent video. I felt like I was coherent, and I said some valuable things, and I had a good workout. But I'm gonna post this one anyway, because like I said earlier, this is a long-term plan. Still trying to figure out what I'm doing, and that's why I'm just kind of talking to you about this, because with the amount of viewers I get and the amount of people that are still watching at this point in the video, I'm really just talking to myself. So, hey me, good to see you. Thanks for watching yourself. Going for 9 again. Six, 7, 8, 9. So once again, I'm stronger in that one, but weaker in the chest. I don't know what I did. Ooh. 7. All right, that is all for this one. Thank you for watching this point, if you still are. You know, if there's a couple things that you can take away from this one, is that remember to feel the good and the bad. Just remember to move on from the bad and into the good. And progress is not always linear. It's not always steady. Like I said earlier, I feel like I'm in a dip, a little bit of a dip right now, and that's okay, because I'm still trying to get better. I'm still showing up, and I will get better. Just got to keep going. Same thing applies to you. If you feel stuck or in a rut, just plow through it, just one step at a time. The most important step that you can take is just the next one. So just keep making it. Just keep making that next step. Keep going. You can do whatever it is that you're trying to do. See you.